Alright everybody, and now Phase 3 Part 2 of my video game collection. And in this part, I'll be showing you all of my 70 plus PlayStation 3 games, including the controllers. So anyway, let's begin. Wow. Developers Creative Association in the United Kingdom. That's where they're from. Let me just check. Creative, what? Creative Assembly. That's where. And hell, they even come for the manual. Look at that. And by the way, happy 40th birthday to Alien. Alien will be turning 40 years old on May 25th, 2019. And that's Alien Isolation for you. Next. Angry Birds Trilogy, which you know, this is way better than the mobile game itself. Looking a little washed out. Armored Core 5. Got an ad for Soul Calibur 5 as what you've seen in version, which I'll show you soon. Uh-oh. Never mind. Looks a little washed out, like I said, but you know, it's fine. Speaking of Armored Core, here is Armored Core 5 Verdict Day from the developers of Dark Souls and Demon Souls, and the game I have on the Xbox, which is called Murakumo. Anyway, enough of that. No manual inside. One of the first PlayStation 3 games to have your limited warranty inside. Bought this game recently. Atelier Escalade, Alchemist to the Dust Sky. Which you know, I do have the anime of this on DVD released by Sentai Filmworks. Featuring add-on content and trophies. Which, you know, that's quite obvious. My first Atelier game my first Atelier game that I bought, which is Atelier Escalade, Alchemist to the Dust Sky. Developed by Gust, published by Koei Tecmo. The Awakened Fate Ultimatum. Hope to get, The Awakened Fate... No, wait. The Guided Fate Paradox. That's what I was thinking of. Dungeon Crawler. Roguelike game. Published by Nipponichi Software. And just so you know, most of my games are Japanese. I have a few Western titles, but most of them are Japanese. It's just what really interests me. My only PS3 game in a slipcover. Also features Zuma and Feeding Frenzy 2. And I do have Zuma on PlayStation 2, and I believe I have Feeding Frenzy on Xbox 360 as well. I'll show you it in my Xbox 360 game collection. This game is literally amazing. Just as amazing as Bejeweled 2 is. And yes, I do have Plants vs. Zombies. One of my favorite games from PopCap. You know, I'm actually kind of a fan of PopCap in Seattle, Washington. That's where their headquarters are. Rare to see Japan doing third-person shooters. Bought this cheap at EB Games for $10. Published by Sega, and even developed by Sega as well. I could be wrong about that. It's got an ad for Yakuza Dead Souls on the back. You know, it takes place in the year 2080 in Tokyo. I came across this game when I was playing Lost Planet 3 on my Xbox 360. Enough of that. And now on to the BlazBlue series. This is the first one. Calamity Trigger. Released in 2009. And yes, this would be one of the last PlayStation 3 games to use the vertical banner and the colored PlayStation logo. See? BlazBlue Continuum Shift Extend. Second game in the BlazBlue series, Continuum Shift. Oh yeah. Published by Axis, developed by Arc System Works. You know, they're known for many fighting games, as well as a few non-fighting games. And lastly, Chrono Phantasma Extend. Also released on PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, as well as Steam. And it even has an ad for Guilty Gear XRD signed for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, which I'll show you my PS4 game collection. And not to mention, there's an ad for BlazBlue Ultra Memory, which we'll probably buy it someday. And yes, I'm very close to having 75 PlayStation 3 games. I'll have to buy like 2 or 3 more to make my collection complete of 75 games. 75 games on my PlayStation 3. Now moving on. This game was a pain in the ass to find. Bleach Soul Resurrection. You know, probably like one of the only Bleach games on PlayStation to be released in North America, Europe, and Australia. I think it was also released in Australia too. Released by Viz Media. But however, the Viz Media logo is not shown. It's kind of strange. Publishers NIS America. It's got an ad for Fade to Black the movie, which I do have on DVD. Which I probably showed you in my anime DVD collection. Included with the Hellverse. Wow. This game is fucking awesome. Next is a 2D crossover fighting game. Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, featuring a Rainbow, a certain magical index, Torreira, Shakugan no Shana, Excel World, Sword Art Online, Irregular and Magical High School, etc. Some of them I do have, and some of them I do not have. As a manga or an anime series. Developed by Emote Light, published by Sega. I love crossovers. Yes, this is a crossover game, like I said. And now we're moving on. Devil May Cry 2013. I did not buy it from EVE Games. I bought it from someone who used to have this game in town. And speaking of Devil May Cry, there's a new Devil May Cry which recently came out, Devil May Cry 5. And this is probably from half of the manual. I don't know where it went to. Somebody probably lost it. Oh well. Enough of that. This is a racing game. And yes, there's already a Dirt 4 which recently came out. No. Actually, it came out 2 years ago. Well, just about 2 years ago. On PlayStation 3. And no, I don't care for VIP passes. I don't care for online games. It's not that I hate online games, I'm more interested in playing games offline. This is my only Dragon Ball Z game I have on my PlayStation 3. Hope to get more one day. Toei Animation. Published by Bandai/Bandai Namco Games. Toei Animation. And developed by Art Dean Studios. And you have no manual. Also on Xbox 360 and PlayStation Vita. Also on PlayStation Vita, Dragon's Crown. Developed by, let's see. Oh, where does it say? No, it doesn't say, so I'm thinking this game was developed by Vanillaware, just like Odin Sphere. But anyway, let's move on. When I bought this game, it didn't come with a manual at all. Earth Defense Force 2025, aka Earth Defense Force 4. Huh. This is a letter that they wrote me, since it didn't come with a manual. Well, you know, that's just fine. In some cases, I don't need to have the manual. Sometimes I do feel like I need the manual. But anyway, let's move on. Next is a hybrid disc. Erica 7 Astral Ocean. PS3 game / Blu-ray hybrid disc. And yes, I did the opening to this Blu-ray. If you want to go see it, check it out. And by the way, title's in Japanese. It's good now for Erica 7 Astral Ocean. Blu-ray and DVD series on sale from Bandai Visual. Here's all your Zero ratings from Zero A, B, C, D, and Z. This game is Zero A rated. Attack the Legend. That's the game of it. And, let's see. I don't know what the name of the OVA was called. I don't remember exactly, but, you know, it's okay. Moving on. Final Fantasy X/Ten-2 HD Remaster. And I do have this on my PlayStation Vita. And I did hear news about this being released on Nintendo Switch, which came out just recently. Which I was not expecting a Nintendo Switch version at all. I'll probably get my hands on a Switch version someday. I do have the original Final Fantasy X and X-2 on my PlayStation 2. The manuals come in both English and French. Disc. Now we're moving on. Front Mission Evolved. Now to hear something new about the Front Mission series. They just recently released a game of let me think, what was it called? I can't remember the title, but it's on PlayStation 4. Came out just recently. This game takes place in the year 2071. Next, Played Fuse, developed by Insomniac, published by Electronic Arts. As usual, this is what every game by EA has. And no, I don't understand why this game never came out in Japan. I don't know, maybe it was too expensive to be released in Japan. Manual included on disc. Or maybe it... you know what, forget it. Gran Turismo 6. Speaking of Gran Turismo, there's Gran Turismo Sport on PlayStation 4, which came out in 2017. October 2017 is when it came out. As I like to call it, Gran Turismo 7. House of the Dead Overkill Extended Cut. 3D compatible game. Compatible with PlayStation Move, which I do not have a PlayStation Move, but you know, it's okay. And by the way, I bought this game brand new. Going out for the movie Re-Kill, coming soon. Probably didn't come out till 4 years later at the time. Because this game came out in 2011, and that film came out in 2015. Who knows, it might have been canceled a couple of times. It might have a few development issues, or a few financial problems. I do not know. Inversion. It's developed by Saber Interactive, which you know. I don't understand why Japan hates Saber Interactive, and I've not seen any other games. I have not seen any other games released in Japan. What a shame. Who really knows why? I don't know why none of their games were released in Japan. Anyway, published by Bandai Namco Games. Here's Jumpstars, Victory vs. Plus. You know, kind of an unusual fighting game where you actually turn the camera around. It's developed by Spike Chunsoft, published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. One of the first games to have the Bandai Namco Entertainment logo. Also on PlayStation 4. The King of Fighters 13, also on Xbox 360, published by Atlas, just like the next King of Fighters game, which didn't come out till 5 years later, and that's King of Fighters 14, which is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, just like Street Fighter 5 is. But enough of that. Developed by SNK. This one's a Japanese import of Koihime Inbu, which is a Japan-only game. Didn't come out in North America or Europe at all. I don't know why, but the reason is unknown, really. Nobody really knows the reason why. And it's got mostly female characters, so don't criticize me. Actually, I think all of them are females, so it's probably an all-female cast for a video game. But anyway, let's move on. The Last of Us. And yes, there's also The Last of Us Remastered on PlayStation 4. And damn it, we're all waiting for The Last of Us Part 2. When the hell will it come out? Will it come out in 2019 or what? Only God knows when. And yes, I did buy this on the same day as I did with Devil May Cry. Another Sony game that I own. Developed by Naughty Dog, you know, from the developers of the old Crash Bandicoot series, as well as Jak and Daxter and Uncharted. Based off the movie, The Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole. And it is on PlayStation 3. Next one is another import from Japan, which is The Legend of Heroes. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. Another 3D compatible game that I own. And it's A-rated in Japan. This is a PSP remaster, just so you know, so it has no trophies. But oh well. Not only PSP remaster that I have for the PlayStation 3. And yes, I do have a PSP again. Which, you know, oh, forget it. Forget it. Forget what I said. Speaking of The Legend of Heroes, here's Trails of Cold Steel. Only on PlayStation. Also on PlayStation Vita. And on PlayStation 4 also, which came out in January 2019. From as far as I remember, this game came out in 2013 in Japan. Didn't come out until 2 years later in North America. Developed by Falcom, published by Xseed. And speaking of Trails of Cold Steel, here is Trails of Cold Steel 2. Also on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita, which the PlayStation 4 version will be coming out soon. So this is my newest PlayStation 3 game that I own. And look at that, it says Sony Interactive Entertainment. So my only PlayStation 3 game to have Sony Interactive Entertainment on the disc. And this came out in 2014. PlayStation 4 version will be coming out in May. And Trails of Cold Steel 3, which I'll be getting for Christmas, which will be coming out in September 27th, 2019 for the PlayStation 4. And let's move on. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, published by Konami. And yes, I do remember seeing out of this game, and it was quite funny. So on that for Konami Corps. Expires on April 20th, 2013, which was 6 years ago. Which I'm a little too late for. Actually, I'm too late for that, to tell you what. But it's okay. And there you go. Speaking of Metal Gear, here's Metal Gear Solid. The Legacy Collection from 1987 to 2012. It says 92 plus average Metacritic. We fight because we are needed, says Big Boss. Also features the original Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation. And here's now for Metal Gear Rising with Vengeance, which I showed you previously. I think this is supposed to be a download voucher for the original Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation. Disc 2, Disc 1. Disc 1 has Metal Gear Solid 4, and Disc 2 has the original Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, Metal Gear Solid Peacemaker, whatever it's called, and 2 more, which were PSP games. Enough of that now. Next is the Greatest Hits game. Midnight Club Los Angeles Complete Edition from Rockstar Entertainment. Red case. Excuse me for that. Mind Jack on PlayStation 3, published by Square Enix, developed by Field Plus. Don't care for product registration. No, project to. No, blah. What the hell did I just say? I meant product registration card. That's what I meant. You got both your manuals in English and French. Speaking of greatest hits, here's another greatest hits game, Need for Speed The Run, for the PlayStation 3. And yes, I do have Need for Speed Most Wanted, which is on PlayStation Vita. You know, I don't care for online passes. Plus, I'm not really a big online gamer. I play most of my games offline. Manual included on disc. Action role-playing game, Nier, which was way before Nier Automata. And yes, I will show you Nier Automata, which I do have on my PlayStation 4. This game is also on Xbox 360. And Nier Automata came out 7 years later. The PlayStation 4, which I'll show you in my PS4 game collection. Not yet. Minecraft PlayStation 3 edition. Excuse me. And now we get on to the Ultimate Ninja Storm series, starting with the first, which came out in 2008. No manual inside, but oh well. Developed by CyberConnect 2, published by Bandai Namco Games. And here's the second one, Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. The case is kind of dirty, but oh well. What are you going to do about it? And Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. Then we'll go off this with the spin-offs soon. Naruto collectible card game, which contains a card of Naruto as Goku in a Goku outfit. And the little tiny manual. Going down for Naruto Shippuden on Neon Alley, which Naruto Shippuden will be on its last DVD set this year. Disc. And that's all for the main series. Now for the spin-offs. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations, which contains both the original Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. And my favorite game in the Naruto Shippuden, the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series would have to be Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. My favorite one in the series. Alright. Speaking of Ultimate Ninja Storm, here is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution. Which was also released on Xbox 360, just like the other titles were. Got some ads inside, which you know I don't care for them. And no, I don't care for any costume DLCs. No manual, but just the disc. And that'll be all for the Ultimate Ninja Storm series. And now for Persona 4 Arena. Best game of E3 2012. Published by Atlas. Developed by Arc System Works. Speaking of Persona 4 Arena, here is Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Wow. Look at that. NHL 14 for PlayStation 3. Manual available online. NHL 15. As usual, manual available online. Another PlayStation Move compatible game that I have, No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise. And yes, I did hear that there is a new one that recently came out for the Switch, and it's exclusively on Nintendo Switch. It's called Travis Strikes Back, No More Heroes. One Piece Unlimited World Red, Day 1 Edition. No manual. Just this anniversary pack of One Piece. And soon, One Piece will be turning 20 years old. The anime series itself, not the manga. The manga will be turning 22 this year. Oh, wait a minute. I think I did something wrong. I showed these games first, rather than Persona 4, Arena, and Ultimax. Oh well. It happens sometimes. But anyway, moving on. Phantom Breaker Extra. My first PlayStation 3 import game. My second one was Koihime Enbu. And my third one will be coming up. My fourth one was Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. And my fifth one technically is AO 7 Astral Ocean Attack the Legends, which I knew there was going to be Eric 7 AO on PS3, and I was right. But enough of that. Going off topic. Phantom Breaker Extra, also on Xbox 360. Fighting game. It's a mostly female cast. Oh yes, one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 3. No. One of my favorite PC games from PopCap on the PlayStation 3, which is Plants vs. Zombies. Featuring two bonus games, Peggle and Heavy Weapon. Which, Heavy Weapon is also on PlayStation 2, as well as Zuma. And yes, I do have Plants vs. Zombies on my Xbox 360, my Nintendo DS, and PC, as well as the PlayStation 3. Happy to own it. Quantum Theory, published by Koei Tecmo, and I think the developer is Tecmo themselves. Not sure. Look at this. It came from The Beat Goes On. I don't know where they're from, to be honest. Since 1991. Yeah, this is a pretty dark game. Main protagonist is Sid. Is Sid with his companion, which I forgot her name. enough of Quantum Theory. Let's move on. One of my first PlayStation 3 games that I bought, Rayman Origins. Also have it on PlayStation Vita and Nintendo 3DS. This game is also on Xbox 360 and the Wii. Let's go on that for The Adventures of Tintin, the game. This is the English side. And this is the French side. And yes, I do have this movie on DVD. Probably replace it with a Blu-ray version someday. Along with some of my newer movies on DVD, which I'll probably replace them with the Blu-ray versions one day. But anyway, let's move on, shall we? Sacred 3. Split Second racing game, developed by BlackRock Studio, published by Disney Interactive Studios. Comes in both English and French manuals. Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. By the way, I swapped cases with Quantum Theory. Scrolling out for Sonic Unleashed, available now. Speaking of Sonic, here is Sonic Generations Greatest Hits. Another 3D compatible game that I have, next to Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, Trails in the Sky, and House of the Dead Overkill. So I think I have like 5 of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 5. Wait, no. 4. 4 of them, actually. Next, it's a sports game. Sports Pack Volume 1 of MLB 14 The Show and NBA 2K14, which has a blue banner. Who cares about downloadable content? Manual for NBA 2K14, which was a launch title on PlayStation 4. Oh my god! It's yellow! The banner is yellow! And same thing with this one. It's also yellow as well. My only PlayStation 3 games in a yellow banner on the discs in one package. But anyway, let's move on. Published by Sony Computer Entertainment, Starhawk. I forget the developer of Starhawk, but oh well. Who cares? Who cares about online codes? Which, you know, like I said, I don't care for online gaming. Play most of my games offline, just like what I said before. Oh, wait a minute, I think the developer is Lightbox Interactive. And funny thing, this game is 0D rated in Japan. And next is another import from Japan for the PlayStation 3. Superhero Chronicle, published by Banpresto. No, developed by Banpresto and developed by Bandai Namco Games. Featuring 2 original characters. And this is a crossover tactical RPG. I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to be. Manual. Featuring familiar Zero, Symphogear, Aria the Scarlet Ammo, When They Cry, Infinite Stratus, etc. As well as Digicharat. You know, this and that. Disc. Now, just for the hell of it, I'll just show it to you really fast. Just because I don't want to waste too much time here. From Nextemp, which I'm probably not going to bother opening it up. I'm not sure what to do with this. I'm not even sure. But this was a hidden surprise for me when I bought this game. Alongside with Hamatora, Look at Smoking World for the 3DS. And I bought most of my imports from PlayAsia, just so you know. And one day I will go back on PlayAsia again and buy some more Japanese games. Japanese imports, that is. And now next is the Tales series. Here's Tales of Symphonia Chronicles from the GameCube and Wii games. All on PlayStation 3. Let's go on for Tales of Xillia Limited Edition DLC voucher, which you know I don't care for. I don't care for DLC. As far as I remember, Tales of Symphonia was on the GameCube, and Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World was on the Wii. Here is Tales of Zestiria. And I do have the anime of Tales of Zestiria, which is called Tales of Zestiria the Cross, which I do have on Blu-ray. I bought it just recently. I bought it in March. So yeah. And I just love the character designs. Here's Tales of Xillia. Like I mentioned earlier in Tales of Symphonia Chronicles. The limited DLC voucher. Disc. One of the first PlayStation 3 games to not include a manual. Speaking of Tales of Xillia, here's Tales of Xillia 2. No manual inside, but instead you do have your limited warranty, just like every Bandai Namco game from 2013 onward. late 2013 onward, that is. Starting with Tales of Xillia onward, you know. Another greatest hits game, Tekken 6 fighting game. And yes, I do have Tekken 7 for PlayStation 4, which I'll show you that in my PS4 game collection. It's got an ad for Dragon Ball Raging Blast for the PlayStation 3. Also, Katamari Forever. It's got an ad for 2 games inside. My first greatest hits game that I bought, Tekken 6. Bought this game recently, Time and Eternity. You know, it has 2D character designs and 3D backgrounds, which is kind of unusual for an RPG. And here's my last stack of PlayStation 3 games. Here's Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters. Going out for Under Night In-Birth for the PlayStation 3, as well as BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma Extent, coming in summer 2015 at the time. And you got your tiny manual. Oh, here's Under Night In-Birth, EXE Late, Axis Games 10th Anniversary, one of the first games to show it. 2D fighting game. Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters was a tactical RPG. This is a 2D fighting game developed by Arc System Works and French Bread. Also did Melty Blood for PlayStation 2. And enough said. Vanquish. This game kicks ass. My god, this game is fucking awesome. An epic third-person sci-fi action shooter from the critically acclaimed game director Shinji Mikami. Published by Sega, developed by Platinum. Bought from the seller Todd's Toy Box. It's got an ad for Aliens vs. Predator on the back, which I might buy it one day. I just might. Yakuza Dead Souls. It's what you call Yakuza meets House of the Dead or Dead Rising. Got an ad for Binary Domain on the back, which I do have on my PlayStation 3. Showed you that earlier. A tiny manual, just like a few other PS3 games that I have. Comes in both English and French sides. And disc. Developed and published by Sega. And last PlayStation 3 game I'm going to show you is High-Speed Robot Action Zone of the Enders HD Collection includes its demo of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which I do have. For the Xbox 360 version, it has 2 discs. On PlayStation 3, it only has 1 disc. Probably because it's a Blu-ray, apparently. And there you have it. Now, before I end off my video here, let me show you some other things. This is my PlayStation 3 controller, black, and the blue one. And whatever this thing is, to connect your PS1 or PlayStation 2 controller onto your PlayStation 3. Which, that's my PlayStation 3 over there. And anyway, that'll do for my PlayStation 3 game collection. See you all in my PlayStation 4 game collection. See ya then. Ta-ta!